There are many ways to process and store crab apples. Of course, you can make all the typical kinds of preserves, apple sauce, apple butter, apple jellies. Some people will pickle their crab apples. Some people will freeze them, and I'm going to freeze a good supply of crab apples so I can add them to my morning locavore smoothie breakfasts. But for the most part, what I'm going to do with my crab apples is sun dry them. And so this is what I'm doing right now. I just washed off the crab apples with some water, and I'm quartering them, cutting them into quarters. I don't worry about the seeds myself. I don't care about I find the seeds a little bit tasty actually, so I just eat the whole thing. I've never, even regular apples, I don't core my apples, I just eat the whole thing. So I'm going to quarter all of these crab apples, and then I'm going to lay them out in the sun to dry. You don't need any kind of special food dehydrator unless you live in a place that is really, really damp, that you can't just lay your food out, or your fruit out in the sun to dry. If you live in a place where that's just not possible, then maybe you need a food dehydrator. But what I find is that a food dehydrator is just it's just all hyped up. You don't need it at all. You do it the old-fashioned way. You just set it in the sun and it dries equally as fast, sometimes faster than a food dehydrator. So I'll show you how that's being done. Alright, so the next step after you've quartered the crab apples is to lay them out for the sun. Now I've got mine on my sidewalk here in my backyard. Right now it's in shade, but it's very early in the day yet, and for most of the day this area gets some pretty intense sun. So what I did was just take a regular old screen for a window that somebody was throwing out. I have a few of these screens. You can of course substitute and just buy screen right at the hardware store. You can buy rolls of screen, or you can buy screens already fixed in frames like this. But if you look around just a little bit, you can probably find one for free being thrown away, and that's what I've got here. So so I lay out the apples on the screen with a little gap underneath, so that there's airflow. And you notice I lay them all with the inside facing the sun. This helps them dry quicker. If you turn them on their backs like this, so the skin is toward the screen. And yeah, I'll show you by this evening the progress on them. They'll dry out a lot in just one day. 2 days, 3 at most, they're done. So you got to kind of pay attention though and make sure that there's no rain going to hit them. If rain is coming, then of course you pick up your screen and bring it inside. Doesn't hurt the apples. You could even dry them inside in your basement, in your kitchen, wherever, on a screen like this. It's just easier outside with the airflow, and it's much faster outside with the airflow in the sun. But if I was to bring the same apparatus into my basement in the cool, in the dark, and just set them up like this, they would dry. They wouldn't get rotten. So I'll show you the progress when we get to the next phase. Okay, just wanted to show you the progress. It's now evening time, but you can see they're definitely getting dry. Even the nice big fat ones. Some of the smaller ones are getting pretty dry already. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll leave them out here for 3 days, although I believe that that 2 days is going to be enough. But yeah, I'm going to leave them out, and I'm probably tomorrow going to move the ones from this side over to here and put a brand new batch over here, so I can just keep cycling through, get a whole bunch of these dried crab apples. But I'll show you how things progress, how long it takes to actually make this happen.
Okay, we're on to day 2 of the drying apples, and just wanted to show here I've got the ones that started yesterday on that side, brand new fresh ones from today on this side, and I think after this after today, the ones that started off yesterday will be pretty much dried out. I might leave them a third day just for the sake of it, but even now, trying them out, still a little moisture in there, but it is definitely getting closer to the consistency of a dried apple. So once I get to the point where I can taste it and I don't hit that moisture, then I know it's going to be done. So we'll see how long it takes, 2 or 3 days. Okay, so we're on day 3 and we got gray cloudy skies above, so I'm going to have to bring in the apples in case it rains, but I'm just going to check these first. The ones on the left have been out getting air and sunlight for 3 days, the ones on the right 2 days, so I want to check and see how the quality is on these, whether there's a lot of moisture still. Still a little bit of moisture. Probably best to let them go another day at least until that moisture is decreased a bit. Okay, I believe this is day 6 of drying apples. The last day I shot, I was bringing them inside. Might be day 7, day 6 or 7. Anyway, I brought them inside. That day it was all gloomy. The next day it just poured rain. It just pounded rain here, and then cleared up, and I've left them outside another day. So we're at day 6 or 7. Maybe day 7 for these ones on this side, maybe day 6 for these ones on this side. I tasted one already. They're pretty much thoroughly dried out, at least the ones on this side. There might be 1 or 2 fat ones that still need a little bit to go. Over here, again, the fat ones probably got a little bit of moisture still left in them. But rather than leave them on these screens any longer, because they've done enough on the screens, I'm going to show you a secret technique. What I have here is basically a mesh bag that they sell for putting your laundry in, and I buy these at the dollar store for $1 a piece, and it's my secret processing tool for at least the finished part of drying. Actually, I dry a lot of things from start to finish in them. Here, for instance, I have a bag of berries that I dried for Saskatoon berries, or Sarvis berries as they're called in the States, that I dried from start to finish inside the mesh bag. And all I do is load it with the berries, and I'll toss it over my my rail of my porch or whatever during the day, bring it in at night, and you know, just keep the berries moving. You know, every time you pass by them or whatever, just move them around a little bit so they get air on different sides and that kind of thing. And they dry pretty well that way. They dry almost as well that way as if you lay them straight out in the sun. Here I've got a bag of dandelion greens that I dried, just throwing them in the net bag, didn't dry them in the sun at all. So for the last part, because I want to clean off this screen now and get some other apples going on it, I'm just going to throw them in the bag. That way I can leave them even to dry for another week, 2 weeks in the bag, and get, you know, really thoroughly dry, so that if I lock them away in a Tupperware or jar or anything I want, they're not going to get funky or anything like that. To thoroughly dry them. But at this stage, they're already, you know, dry enough. I don't have any preservatives on them. It's just straight fruit and sunlight. So without the preservatives and stuff, it's best to throw them in the bag and let them dry a little bit more in the bag before I store them away. And that's my secret technique. Nobody else has this laundry bag technique. I developed that myself and giving it to you guys for free.